On the rain-soaked marshes of Albion, Nakai primes himself for battle. A distant memory seems to linger in his primitive mind, a vague familiarity with his surroundings that the warmbloods might call déjà vu. Had the Old Ones guided him to this place before, in a previous era? As a Kroxigor ancient, Nakai knows not his own age, nor does he really understand his purpose, but he is consumed by it. Whatever the ancient enemy are planning, Nakai knows the puppets they've sent to this sacred place must die immediately. Folks, welcome to the Hunter and the Beast DLC for Total War Warhammer 2. This is going to be one of the first early videos that we are allowed to release on the DLC so far. And it is going to be, as you saw previously, the Battle of the OGHAM SHARD, fought by Nakai the Wanderer, or Nakai. I'm going to say Nakai. If I get it wrong, you guys can correct me. I'm sure there'll be someone out there. Here he is, looking quite marvelous in all of his crocodilian glory. We finally get a big Croxy boy lord. Yeah, and the setting here in Albion, quite rainy. Quite rainy. Doesn't seem like a place that cold bloods would fancy per se. Let's get a look at Nakai the Wanderer. Look at him, he's like walking down the path. It's like I timed it out perfectly. Let's check out some of the units here. These are some sacred Kroxigors. These are magical attack, very high armor-piercing damage. They're a lot more well-rounded than your typical Kroxigor was before, being specifically anti-infantry, though I do have some of those. There are 3 blessed Kroxigors. I'm going to have several Saurus warriors with shields, several units of Saurus spears with shields, and then I've got a unit of horned ones, 2 of them actually, and a skink priest, Lore of Heavens, as well as 3 Pterodon riders with fire leech bolas. You can see the Chaos forces here. You saw some of their forces already. They've got some Forsaken, Dragon Ogres, many Knights with lances, some Chosen with halberds, some warriors with great weapons, and then they are led by Intiro Doommonger here. It's going to be a, I think he's a metal sorcerer, yeah. Metal sorcerer. So I'm going to immediately get my fire leech bolas behind the Hell Cannon and take it out of the fight. You can already see there are a huge number of Chaos reinforcements headed in, and the battle is about to get underway proper. So Chaos is going to be leading with a lot of its large and powerful units. See there in Tiro calling down the Golden Hounds and the Plague of Rust. But this won't really stop us. We're ready for anything that Intiro can throw at us. My Sacred Kroxigors are going to get out here and help my Saurus warriors beat down these Dragon Ogres. Now this is actually a very tough battle. It should be an interesting challenge. If anybody gets it, puts it on very hard, or heaven forbid legendary if you can, oh boy, it's going to be tough. You can see here I'm using the Sacred Kroxigors as a bit of anti-cavalry work. They're not specifically anti-large, but because of their all-around armor-piercing damage, I find them to be quite good. My standard Kroxigors, they're going to go up the middle here and help cut through these Forsaken, where they will do well. And then you can see I have the Sacred Kroxigors facing off against the large units. And I'll give you all another look out here. So this one going to be the Chaos Knights with lances facing up against Sacred Kroxigors and Horned Ones. Unfortunately, Horned Ones get absolutely wrecked in this fight under normal circumstances because of the charge off of those. Now, my Fire Leech Bolas Pterodon Riders did their job very well with the cannon, and then I've brought them back. They don't do armor-piercing damage, but they're pretty good against low-armor stuff like Forsaken. And, of course, the extra damage and attacked in the rear is certainly going to help me. So because I was able to move forward and get the first wave of Chaos forces to attack, I'm able to kind of single them out. If we had to fight them all together, it would be absolutely brutal because of all the Chosen with halberds. You can see there we actually put Intiro down, and his exalted hero is still in here fighting. I'm going to fall back to a more tenable position and kind of continue to maintain this this position here, the building. So hopefully you're getting to see some of the new units in here. Obviously there is no Dread Saurian. I will see if I can fit in a bit of footage with him. There's another quest battle we're able to play, and it's the battle for Croak, which you all would have seen before. It's just this time fought by Nakai the Wanderer. Or Nakai. Be more knights with lances coming in, and I'm fighting the same out here on the flank, and we've got a pretty brutal fight now going on in that flank. I have been using the Bastillodon with Revivification Crystal in order to heal my units, and now I'll start to swing this flank in, which is now inactive, and we'll start to try and collapse onto the forces of Chaos and claim the artifact for that to whom it rightfully belongs. In this case, the Lizardmen. Not these Chaos interlopers interfering with the great plan. So we're driving back the Chaos Cavalry. You can see here several units of Chosen with halberds coming in. It's going to be powerful units. My Fire Leech Bolas are mostly expended. Over here we've got Hargoth Slaughter Call. This dude's an absolute tank. He's in the middle of one of the worst places to be in life, and he is holding out rather well, all things considered. His knights are coming in to protect him, and there are a lot of them. A lot of knights with lances. Here they come cresting the hill more and more and more, so it seems. There's going to be some Chaos Warriors with great weapons, and then there are a lot of halberds, Chosen halberds, and I've tied them down with a single Saurus unit for now. And I'm hoping they can hold out long enough for me to cause some extended damage with my Skink Priest. You can see that there's a unit of Chosen with halberds here who's doing a very good job protecting Slaughter Call, and my large units in that vicinity are paying a dear, dear price. Over here I'm able to call down a little bit of destruction by dropping some rocks on these Chosen with halberds, and I'm going to do the same thing over here. I'm getting in and dropping the rocks off of all my Pterodon riders in an attempt to cause as much infantry damage as possible, and it is fairly effective. At this point I'm going to have to use my Skink Priest, start calling down the heavens. It's going to be a comet. With the tightly packed Chaos Warriors and their heavy armor, I'm able to get quite a bit of damage done. I'm going to use these Blessed Croxigors to get into the back of the Chosen and cause some damage, and then pull them out before they get killed for being in that fight too long. The Chosen with halberds are going to be extremely tanky here. It'll be actually quite difficult to take down. Over here, my Saurus Spears are holding some knights, and their halberds are relentlessly chasing some of my Croxigors who are mostly too tired to get away from that type of fight anymore. See there, I called down an Iranid's Thunderbolt. Again, pretty effective at taking these Chosen apart. And I'm doing it at a relatively low cost with just some Saurus Warriors there. Let's let you all see these Sacred Croxigors in action again. There they are with their giant golden knuckles. Magical knuckles. They pound away in these fights. They are really a solid unit. Very solid unit indeed. Nice all-around unit which should add quite a lot of strength to the Lizardmen. And now with these Chosen, the only units left, the army losses are mounting, and they are beginning to flee, but not before I call down a comet on them, mercilessly trying to put an end to them, and reclaim the artifact. Let's go get one last look at Nakai the Wanderer here. He looks pretty awesome when he's running. Big old crocky boy and his huge weapon. It's good stuff indeed. Let me give you some Dread Saurian action real quick to kind of cap this off. For Indie Pride's channel, I played some battles with him, and he is going to have some footage from at least one of those battles. And you'll get to check that out. So yeah, go check out Indie Pride's video. If I find it, I'll try and get you a link to it, but hopefully this satisfies the need, the hunger that you had to see some Dread Saurian action. This is a very expensive unit. I think it's going to be very, very difficult to find a use for it in multiplayer. But these things are just going to absolutely shred, pun intended, in campaign. I know that this is a crap Skaven army, so you would expect to see nothing less than this guy absolutely owning. That's exactly what he's doing. So anyway, hope you all have enjoyed the first look into the DLC. There will be more. Like I said, go check out Milk and Cookies Total War, see some battle action that I had with him. And we will be bringing you more on this. In fact, I'm hoping whenever it gets time for us to be able to release some stuff around the Empire. I know how much Dav plays. He's been a viewer of the channel and then runs his own content as well. I'll be probably bringing him on to talk a little bit about the Empire and the changes to that, because I think you all would enjoy it. And then obviously eventually we'll be able to show you some campaign footage as well. Anyway, HeirofCarthage signing out for now. Do hope you all enjoyed the first look. Please get down there in the comments. Tell me what you think. Tell me what you're hoping to see in this DLC, so that as the content becomes available, I'll have an idea what you all want to get your eyes on. If you enjoyed it, leave me a like, subscribe if you want to see more. Dread Saurian action. Boy, he is going to be full of rats tonight. See y'all soon.